There is a version of you that is still waiting for the right time, still waiting for the perfect plan, still waiting to feel ready, still waiting for the fear to go away, still waiting for someone to tell you, you can do this. And while that version of you waits, life is moving, time is moving, the world is moving, and you are standing still. Let me ask you something. When is the last time you were truly ready for something that changed your life? Were you ready the first time you fell in love? Were you ready the first time you failed? Were you ready the first time you had to survive something you thought would break you? No, you were not ready. You were terrified. You were uncertain. You were unprepared, and you did it anyway. That is the secret that nobody tells you. Readiness is not something that arrives before the moment. Readiness is built in the moment. You have been lied to by every movie that showed the hero training in a montage before the battle, by every self-help book that said, plan it out, map it, prepare, then execute, by every voice in your head that said, not yet, not now, not until you're better, not until you know more, not until the timing is right. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is fear, wearing the disguise of reason. Fear is smart. It does not always come to you screaming. It does not always show up as obvious terror. Sometimes it comes quietly. Sometimes it comes dressed as patience. Sometimes it comes dressed as practicality. Sometimes it comes dressed as waiting for the right moment, and you listen to it because it sounds so reasonable. But here is the truth. The right moment is not coming. I will say that again. The right moment is not coming. The person who walked away from a career of 20 years to start over, were they ready? No, none of them were ready. They were willing, and willing is the only thing that has ever mattered. There is a graveyard. You cannot visit it. There are no headstones. There is no address, but it is the most crowded place on earth. It is the graveyard of ideas that were never started, of businesses that were never launched, of books that were never written, of conversations that were never had, of lives that were never fully lived. And every single grave has the same inscription. I was waiting until I was ready. You do not get more time by waiting. You get less. Every day you wait is a day you do not get back. Every year you delay is a year that could have been spent building, growing, living. Every moment you spend preparing for a moment that never comes is a moment stolen from the life you could already be living. Time is the one resource no one can give you more of, and you are spending it waiting. Let me tell you about the cost of waiting. Not just the obvious cost, the year you lost, the opportunity you missed, the hidden cost. Every day you wait, the doubt gets louder. Every day you wait, the fear gets stronger. Every day you wait, the gap between who you are and who you could be grows wider. And the wider that gap grows, the harder it becomes to start. Because now you are not just afraid of failing. You are afraid of how much time you have already lost. You are ashamed of how long you have been standing still. Every day you wait is a day you do not get back. Every year you delay is a year that could have been spent building, growing, living. Every moment you spend preparing for a moment that never comes is a moment stolen from the life you could already be living. Time is the one resource no one can give you more of, and you are spending it waiting. Let me tell you about the cost of waiting. Not just the obvious cost, the year you lost, the opportunity you missed, the hidden cost. Every day you wait, the doubt gets louder. Every day you wait, the fear gets stronger. Every day you wait, the gap between who you are and who you could be grows wider. And the wider that gap grows, the harder it becomes to start. Because now you are not just afraid of failing, you are afraid of how much time you have already lost. You are ashamed of how long you have been standing still. So you wait a little longer, because starting now, after all this time, feels like proof that you wasted it. That is the trap. That is how waiting becomes permanent. So I am telling you today, it does not matter how long you have been standing still. It does not matter how many times you almost started, how many times you made the plan and never executed, how many times you told yourself, this is the year, and the year came and went. None of that matters now, because right now, this moment, you still have time, not infinite time, but enough to begin, enough to take one step, enough to start the process that could change everything. I want you to think about what you are actually waiting for, not the abstract version, the real answer. Are you waiting to know more? Then start and learn as you go. Every skill you need to develop, you can only develop it by doing the work, not by studying the work, not by planning the work, by doing it. Are you waiting for confidence? Then understand this. Confidence does not come before the action. Confidence comes from the action. You do not feel confident and then do the hard thing. You do the hard thing, and that is where confidence is born. Are you waiting for the fear to go away? Then you will wait forever. The people you most admire, the ones who seem fearless, they are not without fear. They feel exactly what you feel. They just stopped letting it make their decisions. Fear is a feeling, not a fact. Read that again. Fear is a feeling, not a fact. It is not a signal that you cannot do something. It is not evidence that you will fail. It is not a sign that you should stop. It is your nervous system doing its job, alerting you that something matters, that something is real, that something is worth your full attention. The presence of fear means you care, and caring is the beginning of everything great. So let the fear be there. Acknowledge it, feel it fully, let it shake through your body if it needs to, and then move anyway. Move with the fear in your chest, move with the doubt in your mind, move with the uncertainty of not knowing how it ends. Move, because motion is everything. Motion builds clarity, motion builds confidence, motion builds momentum, and momentum is the most powerful force in a human life. Once you start moving, really moving, things begin to happen that could not happen while you were standing still. Doors open that you could not have seen from where you were waiting. Opportunities appear that only reveal themselves to people in motion. Answers come, not in the planning room, but out in the field, in the work, in the doing. The version of you that is ready, that version does not exist yet, but that version is created, step by step, decision by decision, action by action, by the version of you that starts today. You do not find your best self waiting on the sidelines. You build your best self in the arena. You have one life, one, not a practice run, not a rehearsal, not a draft you get to revise and resubmit. This is it, and the clock is moving whether you move with it or not. The question is not, will time pass? The question is, what will you do while it does? There are people right now with less talent than you, changing their lives. There are people right now with fewer resources than you, building something real. There are people right now with more fear than you, doing the thing anyway. The difference between them and the version of you that is still waiting, they decided. They decided that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. They decided that starting badly is better than never starting at all. They decided that they would rather fail trying than succeed at waiting. Make that decision today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not when the new year comes, not when the kids are older, not when you have more money, not when life settles down. Today, right now, because that is the only moment that is actually yours. The past is gone. The future is not guaranteed. Right now is the only place where your life can change. Start before you're ready. Start before you feel qualified. Start before the plan is perfect. Start before you have all the answers. Start before the fear goes away. Just start, because here is what you will find. Once you start, the way becomes clearer. Once you start, the fear becomes manageable. Once you start, the version of you that was always capable, the version you kept waiting to become, begins to emerge. Not fully formed, not flawless, not fearless, but real, and real is all it takes. You are ready enough. You always were. The only thing standing between you and the life you keep imagining is the decision to begin. So make it now. Stop waiting to be ready.